Happy Women's Day. It's a privilege for me to be here with you on this Women's Day. I love the theme of this year, Women's Day. Choose to challenge. I would say, choose to challenge the status quo. Only then you can become a change maker. I strongly believe that we need many change makers today. We need many women leaders who are change makers, the silence breakers, who can fight against every atrocities and oppressions with will and passion. Our country is in need of such leaders who would challenge the status quo, embracing uncertainties, and steer our nation in the path of success in every field. The world needs such women leaders who, from all walks of life, right from housewives to businesswomen, from teachers to entrepreneurs to scientists, who persevere with purpose and determination and transform culture and society with a heart of compassion by taking the road less traversed. I'm happy to be amidst such great women leaders here in this forum. Dr. Geetha, Program Director, ISRO, Dr. Divya, a medical doctor and an IPS officer, and Dr. Rajashree from Vice Chancellor Abdul Kalam University, Kerala. I'm so privileged that I could share the dais with you all. Actually, if you ask about any trailblazer, any record breaker, you would understand that pioneers struggle against all odds. They struggle against all odds to transform their dream into a reality. Even sometimes it might not seem possible with a normal understanding. Throughout history, mankind has repeatedly demonstrated that focused mental effort can produce miracles. This is because when an idea exclusively occupies the mind, it has the effect of transforming our thoughts into powerful magnets which can access people and circumstances necessary to convert our dreams into reality. This is because building the future is not about fortune smiling upon us, but asking ourselves how hard are we willing to work for our dreams. It's not about luck or anything, it's about holding tight to what we believe, knowing the purpose behind our existence. It's all about that. What we do is not important, but why we do is more important. Sometimes adversity can help us to find our purpose, the whys of our life. There are some incidents that happens in our life that has the influence and power to transform us, to change our DNA. It comes to break us, but actually it makes us stronger, molding us into a beautiful masterpiece. That's the power of adversity. You know, adversity helped me to rise up like a phoenix from the ashes. What am I today is much different from what I was many years before. That's why I'm going to share my story. The story of a woman who struggled to rise amidst life's hardships. That's what I'm going to share. I'm here to tell that to each and every one of you that problems that you encounter in life cannot break you. It can only strengthen you. You know, Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who faced unimaginable suffering at Auschwitz, a concentration camp of Hitler, wrote the definitive book on happiness called Man's Search for Meaning. In that book, he argues that meaning, not success or happiness, is the driving pursuit of human life, and that man's fundamental drive is to find life's potential meaning under any circumstances. Also, in that, he writes, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by a lack of meaning and purpose. That's why I'm here to tell you know your whys, why you do what you do. If you know your whys, you can solve your hows. I want to tell to each and every one of you through my story that you need to find the purpose for which you are created. That deep passion in your life that can suffocate any other passion. Let me tell my story. I was born in a culture that gave special status to boys and a culture that believed women is the property of a husband and his family. In our house, we are seven of us, four girls and three boys. While my grandparents were so happy at the birth of my brothers, they resented the birth of girls because they had to give a huge dowry to the girls who will ultimately go to somebody else's house. Also, the environment was very protective where girls were not allowed to go out on their own. So I grew up into a young woman who was naive and who has very slow self-esteem. And I had a lot of fear. I used to often wonder why I was not born as a boy. I believed that boys are meant to be tough and they are never supposed to cry. And girls wear sparkles, take care of everyone's feelings except theirs. I used to love fairy tales and enjoy fairy world. And I used to imagine that I'm in the fairyland happily ever after. And I used to think that I was just meant to be a good housewife or a great mother. Even in one of my younger days, when I was in eighth standard, one of the teacher asked what you would like to become. I said housewife, while everyone else said engineer or doctor. But however, I was a studious student. That's why I could finish my schooling and then I could enter into engineering and could finish it with honors. And in 1987, I also got a great job in defense in DRDO as a scientist. At that time, I also got married and I loved my work, but I found it difficult to balance work and family, especially when my children were very young. I need to leave them in creche, I need to leave them under somebody's care. And so I used to run home, I used to teach them, I used to take care of cooking, I used to go and drop them, then run to office. I faced a lot of challenges. Whenever I need to travel because of work or I had to stay late, I had to cook for many days and put it in the fridge. Coping up with work, family, and my boys were a little difficult for me. But along with that, I had serious issues in my home front. I had personal problems, my marriage, and that's when I was so depressed. I was down, but I wanted to shine. So once I took one of the jovial comment by one of my male colleagues seriously, that girls study, memorize and study. They don't understand and study. That's why they can get high marks. And so I wanted to study in a premier institution, my master's. So I tried in Indian Institute of Science, and two times I failed. But the third time, I got in aerospace engineering. Though my bachelor's were in electronics and communication, I could do aerospace engineering. And I was passionate about this field of aeronautics. And that's why I could do the subjects. And then I finished my master's and I got into PhD. While I was doing my PhD, the problems in my home front increased. And I was so depressed, I was walking towards the path of suicide. I felt that I was being treated like a doormat and I was going in a roller coaster in the dark. And I was engulfed in fear and I felt lifeless, sleepless, empty. And I even thought God abandoned me. He did not answer my prayer for 20 long years. I was consumed with feelings of self pity and anger and bitterness. And a question was haunting me. Is God fair? Is he good? Is he partial? This question pierced me to the core. If God is all loving, if he is all powerful, if he is all knowing, why does he allow this? Why does he allow evil? I went into a serious depression and I was walking towards a path of suicide. There are always turning points in our life when we are at the lowermost points in our life. That's what happened. Around the time I developed a high temperature which turned into a case of pneumonia. When I was admitted in Malya Hospital in March 2004, my one lung had already gone, and antibiotics could not save the other lung, and that's why they had to put me on a ventilator. While I was hanging between death and life, while I was on the ventilator, I saw a divine presence in my room. I heard a voice, I'm giving you new life. I saw the blood of Jesus coming and covering my sins. And all the 5 days, I felt his presence. I came home, I read the word of God, and the presence of God became so real, and that transformed me. I started to know that I'm so precious. I'm worth. I'm worth for God. I'm worth for the humanity. That was the turning point of my life. Problems in my life came to break me, but God transformed it to mold me into the best version that He had in His mind. Many people, when they face adversity, they stop dreaming. Why don't they dream? Because they feel that they are not worth for it. Some people even dream and they forget it because they were being told by bullies that they are not worth, and they are supposed to accept the identity what others give them. That's why they dismiss their dreams, their passions so easily. Because we are constantly told by bullies around us that we are only the problem makers. We hear the words stupid, fool, and all these things sometimes hurt people. Often people say the rhyme, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will not break. But words are so powerful, it can break. Many times, if you ask people why they could not succeed, they will give most of the time, three of these reasons. Either it is their past failures, or it's a bad environment, or wrong people in their life. So God can change all these things, and anyone can rise above all these things. That's why I decided that I'm going to rise above everything. So I started putting my fears down. Fear of unknown, fear of the future, fear of losing people, fear of my worth. Everything I put it down. And I started filling with positive things, that I'm so precious, I'm valuable. So all these things I wrote it down. And I have supreme potential. I started to take up other courses. I know that I have supreme potential because God bestowed it upon me. And that's when I finished my course on counseling. And then I have never knew that I could be an author. Started to write books. I started to write my first technical book, and I completed it. And then I wrote the book on domestic violence. When the Flame Flickers, Emerging from Marital Abuse. It's available in Amazon.in and com. And domestic violence is a sensitive subject where no one wants to speak about it. I wish that the stories that I've shared in the book will inspire many women to come out of the abusive situations. That's why I spend my weekends counseling women who are struggling. My job was very simple because I just had to tell them that they are so precious, they have a purpose, and they can emerge victorious. And they should not allow others to walk down over them or hurl stones at them, because God has put so much power within them. I believe in the power of words. Words can make you or break you. They can heal your soul. They can damage you forever. And words can turn adversity into opportunity, weakness into strength. Once, one of my director, who is no more, I was a young project leader that time. So when once failure occurred, I was trying to put the reason on someone else. So he called me and said, whenever your project fails, take it up. Whenever your project succeeds, give it to your team. That makes you a great leader. That stayed with me till now. Whatever the challenge you can face, whatever the hostility you can face, whatever nepotism or favoritism you can face, or the glass ceiling effect, there is no competition for you. You have a unique potential. You can still shine. You can stay strong because the potential is within you. Others might not recognize it, but you are strong. Know that you're full of worth. Find your voice and make it to be heard. Help others and build a team. and build a working relationships that can achieve greater tasks, that can mean cheering others. Always remember how people treat you is usually a reflection of themselves. If they treat you bad, they might not be a great people. They might not be such a great ones because they might not be treating them or their own family well. So it doesn't matter. Do not think much about it and go down. Never stand for competition. You are a unique person. That's what I understood. That there is no need to fight against anyone in the work, because sometimes you might feel you're put down or you might feel there are favoritism, but still you can shine. Hard work matters. Sincerity will be rewarded. By the grace of God, I was sponsored to study project management and leadership, executive diploma program from I2PTM along with Washington University School of Business, Washington DC, by my office. I learned a leader should walk with a team, and I learned a lot of leadership in that course. I was also awarded the Professor Satish Dhawan Award for outstanding achievement in the field of engineering in the year 2014. And then again, I wrote one more book, Beyond the Boundaries of Science, Exploring the Cosmic Story. I was really shocked when I studied about this quantum physicist. You might have heard about the quantum physicist at Cambridge University. His name was Dr. John Polkinghorne. He said one day that, ladies and gentlemen, if you were to analyze just one contingency in the early picoseconds of the universe, when the universe started, the initial picosecond, just analyze. If you look at that point and analyze just one parameter, the expansion, do you know how precise it should be? It would be like taking aim at one square inch object at the other end of the universe 20 billion years ago and still hitting it at bull's eye. That much precision you need. So he was wondering, and that made me to wonder. And also the DNA in our cells, that makes us, that tells us who are we. It's an unimaginably complex manual encoded system of information, average around 3.1 billion bit of data in a small dot. And I went to NASA. I was really shocked at the big mirrors of James Webb Telescope. And I heard the story that when Hubble telescope was launched at a budget of $1.5 billion, there was a major setback. And Hubble was not sending proper images. But later, 7 engineers did spacewalk for 5 days, and they made a series of coin-sized mirrors and changed the primary mirrors detection. And finally, even now, Hubble is sending beautiful mirrors, beautiful images. What I learned is failures doesn't break you. You can try, you can keep trying. You have to climb high. You should never dream for small. You should dream big. You should never tell anyone that you cannot do it. History chooses everyone. Some of us might change things in a big way. Some of us might not, but we will change in small and beautiful way. Many people have worried whether they'll be rejected, whether they'll not be able to count upon, but everyone who believed, they have succeeded. That's what my aim is, to encourage every woman to become a great leader in her own field. The late Kenyan Nobel laureate Wangari Maathai said, the higher you go, the fewer women you will see. We see few women at the top of the ladder in every profession because women are not aware of their potential. They do not try to break the walls that bring the gender disparity. History has proven that women have displayed great leadership skills in various spheres, and women have natural leadership qualities. They also excel in resilience, empathy, integrity, emotional intelligence. That's why we need more women leaders to model leadership, to bring our country to a successful position. My passion is to make people realize that life can be hard, but not to give up. When life gives you a lemon, it makes it a lemon. Life can be unfair, but do not be unfair to your own self. You will be a leader one day. There can be haters, there can be naysayers, there can be people who cannot believe in you, cannot trust in you, but it's okay. You will one day prove them wrong. Trials are going to make you a stronger person. Life is a trial. Every time you realize that it's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to cry. It's okay. Failure is an option. I can fail. It's okay. But I will rise up. I will rise up as a phoenix from the ashes. I'm not going to try to be a perfect person, but I'm going to walk in the path of excellence. I'm going to walk as though this is the last day of my life. So that's why I want women to realize that they are so precious. The real happiness doesn't lie in success and money and fame. It lies in gratitude. It lies in giving. We are called to impact. Even in my life, when I look back, I wonder why God chose me from such an insignificant place and brought me this far. The grand weaver has been weaving a beautiful pattern in my life. And he had shaped me through wounds and others, but by finally is making a beautiful pattern. My advice finally to a younger generation will be have grit. Stanford University psychologists did research on the subject of grit because they wanted to differentiate a successful student from an unsuccessful, and they found this parameter called grit. It's growth mindset as opposed to fixed mindset. It's not searching for perfection but for excellence. If I'm born a shy person, I'm never going to remain shy. If I'm born poor, I'm not going to remain poor. So this is a growth mindset. As a little seed will become a great oak. A small acorn will become a great oak. A small bird can become a big eagle. That's why dream big. Persevere. Henry Wordsworth Longfellow said, the heights by great men reached and kept were not achieved by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. Their lights were burning, they were studying, they were working when others were sleeping. So that's why, though you fail, don't worry, you will climb high. There is no such thing as overnight success. Everybody have to go through failure. Everybody have to go through struggles. No matter what people had done to you, you can redeem any impossible situation. Keep a right attitude. Many that are abused and mistreated have come up with great advantages and opportunities, and they are living as victors. You're made for a purpose. That's why I wanted to say once again to you, never stop your dreams and keep great habits and find your place in the world, a place that is both motivating. Expect greatness. Commit to your life to God, and your success is on your path. Align your path with your vision. Look into your own heart. Ask what I'm supposed to be here. Your heart will tell your passion. So today I wanted to say that I have a passion to bring the talents of every young woman, to tell that don't listen to the little voices that tell you that you are not good enough. Whatever it is, that voice, suppress it. Dream big, dream great. Dream can change anything. Finally, my passion is to give voice to women whose experiences go unnoticed, whose voice goes unheard. As we sit here at this moment, women across the world are being abused. They are denied the right to go to work or school, and they are being forced into prostitution. Stand up for them. Only through truth can untruth be vanquished. Only through love can hatred be quenched. Can we from now all of us turn over a new leaf to join together to work for those whose voice has remained unheard? Let us stand for them. My dream is to see a different world. a dream of seeing a better community, the dream of seeing the gender bias and wrong prejudice being crushed down, the dream where every little girl can flap her wings and fly and can walk carefree all the time. Thank you.
To key in their questions if they have for any of the speakers. Um, so either they can key in the questions in the chat box or probably use raise hand option and ask the questions directly to one of the speakers. Dr. Divya, madam, we have a question for you.
Yes,
so this question is how easy or how difficult was it for your journey from the field of medicine to the Indian Police Service?
well, the training was definitely tough, I should say. It's just joking. But see, it was not much of a difficult thing because I told you just take things as it comes. So I was doing the PG medicine at Trivandrum Medical College. After that, we got into training. Now in training, it is like yes, you can say in training, it is really difficult. That naturally, being a police service, you definitely have a physical part of the training also. But actually, now looking back, I feel that training was the most important, most enjoyable, and the most wonderful part of our career. The way you develop team spirit, the way you interact with people. So that was a very nice journey. So I think the only thing is that we should not be prejudiced about as opportunities come, and we should not hesitate when opportunities come. That is the only thing. Because I'll tell you one instance, like when I was preparing for my PG and this option of writing the exam came. So naturally, I went and requested my boss that, sir, I may require a leave to write the exam, kindly grant me leave. Uh, he was, he told me, what is your problem? What is wrong with you? You already have this, and what is wrong with you? I am not going to give you leave, or if you take leave, I'll make sure that you don't write the exam that year. That was a little shocking. So, but the point is, at that time I felt no, this is what I want to do. It's okay. After 1 year, and I'll write the exam after 1 year. Actually, I took leave and I wrote for the exam and I cleared it. But now, when I think back, I feel that if I got intimidated at that point, if I thought, oh, if he doesn't give me leave and then I don't clear this exam, then I again go back for medicine. At that time, probably I would have never taken this step. So it is just about going ahead with the opportunities you have. Training also, when it comes, it is not easy. You have to do horse riding, you have to go for swimming, but it is all, when you take it in the stride, it all becomes enjoyable, and at the end of it, you come out very successful. And in profession also, because why I came in uniform for this program, because I thought it was Women's Day, I should wear a sari and come. Then I thought, as Madam told this topic for this International Women's Day is choose to challenge. So what are we challenging? We should be challenging the gender stereotypes. So first, when you think of a policeman, a man comes. So this I wanted to challenge. That is why I came to uniform. So next time when you think of a policeman, you will just remember me also in this uniform, standing somewhere there. So it is just basically about challenging the stereotypes, and that challenging should first happen within ourselves. I should not feel that no, people would not accept me as a police person, but people would not accept me as their superior. That sort of first our thinking should change, and naturally the society would follow. Like in many places when I was posted, I'm basically a Karnataka cadre. So when many districts when I was posted, I was the first woman SP of that district. So naturally, the juniors, subordinates would be, I'm definitely sure that they would be curious. How would it be? How bad it would be to work under a female boss? Probably they must have thought. But the point is, once you make your stand clear that you are serious about your work, you are professional about your work, they just observe you. And many a times I felt that they respond much more positively than sometimes to men officers also. So more than the attitude of the society, what you have to concentrate is your own attitude, and you should not be limited by anything. I'm definitely not telling that it is going to be very smooth sail. Absolutely not. You will have to face challenges like one superior, one boss intimidating you, asking you to stop, don't be over smart. That may happen, but the point is you just keep on doing, and ultimately all support, all accolades will definitely follow.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Divya ma'am. So next we have a question towards Dr. Latha Christie ma'am. Dr. Latha madam, I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, yeah.
So Dr. Latha ma'am, as you had mentioned in your speech that you are from Tirunelveli district, Palayam Kottai. So with 7 siblings, 3 boys and 4 girls. So who taught you to dream, and who taught you to? So who were your inspirations in your early childhood days in your life, given the circumstances that you were in your childhood?
In my childhood, as I said, I was naive, only Cinderella, and all those people uh, were my role models. So when I was young, I never had any of those high aim or anything. But adversity made me to show that the people who told that it is not possible. I wanted to show that it is possible. Anybody can rise up by the grace of God. That's what my dream, and my dream is to tell every woman and everyone who are feeling in that down position that anything is possible. You have to work towards your dream and have a high dream, because earlier I used to work hard, only I had to get first rank. That was my dream. But then getting first rank or getting success is not everything. It's just about how much you are willing to do something for the society. That's why recently we started a movement where around 100 women are so much abused, and we are supporting them through free counseling and others. So this sort of initiative called Deborah Rise Movement, we made a website and people across the world can call us for free counseling. So this sort of initiatives happen because at one point I felt that that should be my dream, that I should be able to help the society. So that's my dream. And I have been seeing many of these people like Wangari Maathai and many who are, I used to read their books, and even Mother Teresa and some of the people who are doing altruistic work, like not gaining for them, but doing something for the society, that inspired me.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Latha madam. So next we have a question to Dr. S. Geetha madam. Um, Geetha madam, you had mentioned in your speech that about the Sriharikota incident where there were no standby packages. So what made you commit to your boss that you will deliver an alternate package within a specified period of time so that the project is not impacted?
Yeah, as I told, now we have flight packages as well as standby packages. That time production and all were not at this level. Standby package had to be ready. Only one package was not there. The scenario like failure have happened in the package where standby is not available. Like that only it will come. So this procedure we were about to do, but because of the availability of the package, we couldn't. If I would have not taken that decision that we are ready to do all through the night, and it has to reach Sriharikota by 11 o'clock. So from airport to Sriharikota itself, some 3-hour journey is there. So morning flight, if you are not giving, we may have to shift the launch. So we decided that we will be able to do, because even though I told 30, 40 people, some more are there, more number of people have to come participate in the simulations. They have to analyze, some 8, 10 teams has to analyze. Then and there we have to get the clearance. So that conscious decision that I told, don't worry sir, we will do it. I am not coming to Shark. We are right now we are going to the facility, test facility, called all the people. Everybody has left because it is 5:30 or so. All the people, and with everybody, not only me, everybody on that passion only. We have to complete, madam, no doubt. We have to complete and give the package by 2 o'clock. So that only, so passion of all the individuals together along with me. I have quoted an incident. So many incidents are like this because it has happened at night, and most of them, that analysis team were girls. They, I don't want to send them alone. So I have a colleague. I told him, along with them, you have to go and drop at 12 o'clock and down. This is what I, so what I want to say that if a situation comes, we have to ready to face that situation. After that only we have to say that it is not possible. From the start itself, some people will tell it is not possible. How do we complete this, all these things in 3 hours and all? It is not fair. We have to start. Definitely, if you are starting, it will come correctly. That is what my feeling is.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. So next, we have a question to Dr. Rajashree, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. Rajashree ma'am, if you can give a brief overview about the initiatives that university has been able to do during the midst of the lockdown, because last year when the nation went through the lockdown, we were one among the very few universities across the country which not just functioned, but we were able to deliver a lot of initiatives as well to the student and faculty community under your leadership. So if you can give a few pointers towards that.
Yeah, it was exactly 1 year. Uh, it was during March 9th that we started lockdown and we closed educational institutions. And the immediate response from our side was to instruct all the colleges to go online and engage students, because it was during the middle of the semester, and then putting uncertainty there without giving proper directions for academics to continue was something very critical. And so we gave immediate directions to go ahead with the online classes. And we also had the support from all the statutory bodies to come and sit together, discuss, and without disrupting the academic activities, we have been able to continue with our classes. It was difficult in some places, because that is when we really got to know the deficiency with respect to the infrastructure. Even though we say that people have affordable people are affordable when it comes to devices and all, there are very specific nature of the terrain which makes connectivity unavailable in certain places. So we had to face a lot of such challenges which had to be addressed, especially from students who felt very insecure when they went to their homes, and then suddenly being away from the campus to homes without moving out from the house. It was giving them a lot of internal stress also to students in that particular age group from 18 to 22. So we had to mitigate all those. They have been sending us emails and then interacting with us continuously with regard to the exams, the conduct of exams. The final semester was going on, where most of the students had secured their placement and they had to go out with their degrees. So we could complete all those by putting very immediate policy changes, where the internal exams along with an averaging of the previous semesters were done and the results were processed. And by September, they could get their professional certificate and they could join. These were very critical from the university leadership point of view, because as you know, university is something which sticks on to the regulations and then making immediate changes in the policy, getting the consensus from various groups of people and moving forward. It is very critical for us, but we could somehow manage. And also with respect to the lower semesters also, we got rid of external examinations completely and then did a grade averaging with proper schemes, wherein the performance was previously of previous exams were considered, and they were also given grade cards. And in the meantime, we had also resorted to mechanisms to keep students engaged, reaching out to them through various programs, through webinars and then expert talks from people, and then instructing the colleges to connect to students, to reach out to them, to address their yeah, mostly their emotional needs when they were at home, fearing what will happen to the exams, what will happen to our backlogs. It is see, for our university, it is 1.25 lakh students, and the needs and the concerns are very much varying, and it has the best students, and also it has students who are not so good concerned about what is going to happen, and then say they have their own mechanisms to vent out their emotions and insecure feelings. Thus, even it is leading to uh, some issues, and they take it up with political leadership. All kinds of issues were there which we could mitigate, which has never been which have never been planned or anticipated before. So that is where, see, being a woman, I have never felt that these are not something we cannot address. But I had the see, I was very fortunate to have a good team of people with us in the university, with leadership like the pro vice chancellor, registrars, and all deans. We all work together, and it is never like see, boss subordinate relationship, but it is a peer to peer interaction where we could sit and settle things. And also the other boards of the university, statutory bodies like the syndicate, academic council, all these where mostly it is dominated by faculty members and the men administrators, not mostly women. So I never felt that I was different in the whole group when it comes to addressing an issue. And that has that's what, as Dr. Divya was putting it, it is your attitude that matters. When it comes to your duties and exercising your responsibilities, you never bother about other things. There's nothing that no discrimination across. It is just the issue that is in front of you, and what you have to do, that is what is critical. How are you performing your duties as an educational administrator in a critical time, when taking all the stakeholders along with you? That is important. So as leaders, uh, the young students also should take note of this. It is the problem in front of you, and how you are able to understand the problem space completely, and then come up with an unbiased solution. How do you get the cooperation from others, who you accept that all of them are better than you, and then you give room for their suggestions, and then have consultative decision making when it comes to very sensitive issues, when it comes to excellence, everything. So that is very important. And never in my life so far, being in a profession for 28, 30, more than 30 years, I have never felt that I am alone, because I see an organization as one individual mostly wherever I have worked. So that's very critical to the success of any organization, when you are especially when you are in administration. If you're a scientist and working and then publishing, inventing something, then it will be different. But if it is an organization with a lot of dynamics around, you can't be alone. You need a group of people who think alike, and that all kinds of intelligence, your emotional intelligence, your spiritual intelligence, every component of your intelligence will act when you make decisions. So that's my own personal experience. It's
Yeah,
okay.
thank you very much, madam. So I think we are running out of time, but before we close the session, I would request each speaker to provide your suggestion about how can we bring in a gender parity in the near future. I think Kerala is one among the few states which has a reasonably good percentage of gender parity compared to other states, and but then how do we bring in a gender parity in its full sense in the next couple of years? So I would request each speaker to give your suggestions in, let's say, 1 to 2 minutes So we can probably start with Dr. Geetha ma'am.
Thank you, Arun. I was going through our speakers, Dr. Divya Gopinath, a very good combination of MBBS and IPS, and her experience. I am very happy to see you. First of all, I don't want to tell this, but I am telling Rajashree Madam also how she is managing. That itself indicates that women are empowered already, but there has to be empowerment from the lower side. That definitely no doubt in it, but women are empowered if you are able to take up challenges. That has to come from the family. We have in Kerala and all, we I think we are giving more consideration to the girl child. uh, Consideration has to come from the family, as I told. Consideration has to be there for the mother, then to the girl child, then to wife, then sisters, everywhere. So family is the one we have to start initially itself, and all other things are equally applicable to both women and men. We have to be passionate in the work, to be decision makers, leaders, and hard work. I have seen that hard work is required. That also we have to cultivate that quality from the initial childhood days. And for the girl child, we have to say that instead of telling that you have to go to another house, you have to have these qualities, you have to be very silent. Although instead of that, let her live in her own way. As it is, doesn't mean that she has to move around at 11 o'clock and all. And we have to give freedom for her also to choose her whatever she likes to do in the childhood days. And definitely we have to say that you have to have some 1 hour for you alone. When that kind of attitude we have to develop from the house. So to me, if you ask, house is the one we have to train, and through media or anything, we have to say that at home the girls should have consideration in all the activities what they are doing. And if I don't, you give 1 minute to say that we are celebrating that our International Women's Day 2021 in a grand manner, and the YouTube link is available. Please see our VSSC YouTube. We are honoring Padma Bhushan KS Chitra, and the collector Dr. Navjot Khosa is the chief guest, and inaugural message by our governor. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Geetha. So next, let me request Dr. Latha ma'am to give your suggestion as to how we can bring in gender parity in the next couple of years.
So I think that there should be an attitudinal shift is important. Even it should start from the house, where we should also teach our boys and girls the same sort of things, that boys can cry, and they can also do the work equally in the house, and those sort of attitudinal shift is needed from the house itself, as Dr. Geetha was telling. And then similarly, we should have increasing representation of women in the public spheres, and like using affirmative action and others, we can do it. Similarly, giving higher education for girl children is quite important. And sometimes you see that job opportunities also, if something can be done for girls, because many times they get married and they leave the job. But I have counseled so many girls who have faced problems that just within 1 year, and then they have left the job and have come, and now they are without job, so they have lost their self-esteem and many things else. So something a government can do to promote their job, so that they can stand on their own leg instead of depending on someone else. So this sort of things can be done. And also, we also now have in every offices and colleges rules and regulations for sexual harassment against women. So that has been properly put, and nowadays it's not the world that we have seen so many years back. And even men are standing for gender equality, and they wanted to promote it. So that's a positive change I'm seeing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Latha ma'am. So, Dr. Divya, madam, your thoughts, your suggestion about making gender equality happen.
Yeah, Arun, I think you are quite a big optimist, because you are telling gender equality, gender parity in the next few years, which I doubt, because definitely these sort of changes don't happen overnight. It takes time, but we have to definitely make a conscious effort. And as all the speakers told, Lata ma'am and Geeta ma'am told, it has to start in the family. What we have to give is a gentle, neutral atmosphere in the family, which is quite easier said than done. Because every house, every now and then, we keep being a boy, you're not, as madam told, you're not supposed to cry. Being a woman, you're not, I mean, being a girl, you're not supposed to speak loudly. But so many little issues in different ways. So that keep on happening. So first we have to have awareness, and this sort of attitudinal change, a gender neutral environment in the inside the family, is very much important. Second thing I would like to tell that regarding women gender discrimination, there are two aspects. One is economic and second is cultural. This cultural, as we have seen, is a very major factor, and it is many a times very subtle. And all of us are part of it. It's not only men but women equally, because 50 more than 50% of society is women. So when we call society, we include the big numbers of women also in that. So that cultural changes. And second is the economic emancipation. Why Kerala is much better? Of course, one is because of our matrilineal heritage which we have. At the same time, because of the economic emancipation of women, the Kudumbashri, the lot of activities, I think Kerala state is one of the first states which changed the ration card in the name of the women. So here women are much more empowered, and that economic emancipation definitely has improved women's stature a lot. But still, in the cultural aspects, we are yet to come out in a big way. And the third and the last thing is that, see, there is a point to which society will facilitate. You cannot choose your bosses, you cannot choose your co-workers or people around you. The first change has to happen in yourself. You should decide that you would not be limited by the gender, because as it is amply demonstrated here, many of the jobs or skills are gender neutral. A teacher teaches. It is not a male teacher or a female teacher. A scientist invents, researches. It's not a male job or a female job. But many a times, because of our cultural background, individually we ourselves are biased that, oh, I may not be able to do that. I may not be able to perform that way. So that sort of things just need to be taken off. So as individuals, women, girls should dare to dream. They should dare to challenge, and they should pursue their dreams. That is, and dare to be themselves. That is what is most important. So that's all I would like to say, Arun.
Thank you very much, Dr. Divya ma'am. So next, let me request Dr. Rajashree ma'am, Honorable Vice Chancellor, to share your thoughts, suggestions for bringing in gender equality.
Yeah, it is all the speakers have already told us, and I have included this in my uh, address also. So the main thing I'm looking for is in major decision making bodies, women should be a part. If you look at Kerala, you can see the local self-government system where a lot of women are there. They are going to the grassroots level and understanding the problems of the society, and they are responding more adequately, I would say, than men. So that kind of say that 33.3 percentage, it's very important because they are able to make decisions which touches all the sectors, be it security or be it healthcare or be it education or financial, everything. So that cannot be forgotten. So once that happens, we will naturally have the parity we are talking about. Otherwise, parity is only on papers and it is never materialized. So that power is very important when it comes to the parity. Otherwise, speaking and then having these kind of slogans and then going back and someone else is making decisions for you means then you are always at a loss. That's my take on this.
So thank you very much, Rajashree ma'am. So thank you all speakers. So let me next invite Professor Shija P. George, Joint Director Research at APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University, for delivering the vote of thanks. Over to you, Shija ma'am.
Thank you, Arun. Good afternoon, distinguished speakers, KTU family, and other joined the program. We are very glad to have such an eminent personalities for our inspirational discussion on this special occasion. As women, each of us have many constraints to become successful. The family is very important to us, and as women we give the first priority to our family. Actually, the family revolves around the women in the family. The roles can be mother, wife, daughter. In that situation, our own desires we put apart as sacrifice, or can be said as adjustment, but we can have a positive step in all the situations, as Dr. Geetha has mentioned, and can chase our dreams. From the speakers, we could understand that for achieving our dreams, nothing is a barrier. Frankly speaking, women are blessed with the multitasking capacity. I take this opportunity to thank the panelists, Dr. Geetha, Dr. Latha, Dr. Divya, and the Honorable BC, Dr. Rajashree, for delivering such an inspirational talk. I thank I once again thank them for sparing their valuable time for this program. Last but not the least, I thank the organizers in coordinating such a wonderful session. Thank you all.